Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing a quick news brief on the thinking behind the new Sora feed from OpenAI. Now, this is a pretty big deal because the philosophy guiding this feed isn't just about what you'll see, it's about what you might be inspired to create. Okay, so let's get right into it. A major new AI feed is officially on the way, but its whole approach is, well, it's different. It's not being designed as just another endless scroll. And that brings up the biggest question of all, right? How is it actually going to decide what shows up on your screen? So first up, the philosophy of this new feed. The entire system is being built on one core idea that really sets it apart from a lot of other platforms, prioritizing creation over consumption. The whole point isn't just what you watch, it's what you might be inspired to go and make yourself.
And here's that mission in their own words. The aim is simple: help people learn what's possible and inspire them to create. So, the feed is being designed from the ground up to be a launchpad, a place to spark your own creativity, not just a place for passive viewing.
So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, it means the algorithm is literally being tuned to reward creativity and active participation. It's a really deliberate shift away from the passive scrolling model that, we're all so used to on other platforms. And to make that mission a reality, they're leaning on these four guiding principles. Think of this as the blueprint for every decision the feed makes. It's all about optimizing for creativity, making sure you're in control, fostering connection, and trying to walk that very tricky line between safety and freedom. Okay, so we've got the philosophy. Now for section 2. How does the algorithm actually get to know you? How does it personalize your feed? It all comes down to the different signals it's designed to read and interpret. First things first, the system is designed so that no two feeds are exactly alike. The whole goal is to build a unique experience just for you, one that really sparks your specific creative interests. It's the total opposite of a one-size-fits-all approach. So the feed uses a combination of signals to do this. It looks at your direct activity, what you post, what you like, who you follow. It looks at engagement on content, how popular something is. And, this is interesting, it can also optionally use data from your ChatGPT history to get an even better sense of what you're into.
And this is absolutely crucial. It ties right back to that principle of user control. If you're not comfortable with your ChatGPT history influencing your feed, you can just go into your settings and turn it off. Simple as that. You have the final say.
This idea of control extends to families, too. Parents are going to have tools to manage their teens' experience, like being able to disable personalization or turn off the continuous scroll feature. It gives them more oversight. All right, let's get into the big one, safety. With any content feed, this is always the number one question. So, how are they planning to balance protection with creative expression? How do you build guardrails for a community like this? Well, for starters, the platform has a really clear set of global usage policies, and any content that violates these rules can be removed. This covers all the harmful material you'd expect. We're talking graphic violence, hate speech, bullying, content that promotes self-harm. All of it is explicitly prohibited. The rules also go beyond that to cover things like low-quality clickbait, stealing intellectual property, and using someone's likeness without their permission. So it's about maintaining a standard of quality and respect, not just preventing the most extreme harm. So how do they enforce all of this? Their defense system is multi-layered. It actually starts before content is even made, with guardrails built right into the creation tool. Then that's backed up by automated systems that scan everything. And finally, there's a layer of human review to investigate reports from users like you. So you can really think of this as a two-pronged approach, which is key. First, it's proactive. It tries to stop harmful content from ever being created in the first place. But it's also reactive, with a classic report and takedown system to quickly handle anything that might slip through the cracks. Now, it's really important to understand this last point. None of this is set in stone. This whole plan is being presented as just a starting point, a blueprint for a system that is designed to learn and adapt as it goes. And they're being very transparent about this. They're basically saying, hey, we're not going to get this balance perfect on day one. They see the whole thing as a living, breathing system that's going to evolve over time based on how people actually use it and the feedback they provide. And really, that brings us to the central challenge, the big question that every modern platform is wrestling with. OpenAI has laid out a really thoughtful blueprint here, for sure, but the real test begins now. Can a single algorithm, no matter how smart, truly perfect that delicate balance between creative freedom and user safety? That's the question we're all going to see answered as this new feed comes to life.